This is the Carpuride W702 interface. It's a 7-inch display that gives you Android Auto and Apple CarPlay on your bike so that you can have access to your media, you can make and receive phone calls, you can use your phone to navigate but see it through this interface. I've been playing with one on my FJR 1300 and so far I'm really impressed. Let's have a deeper dive. So in the box is the device. Now I've got that wired up to effectively to the battery. It comes with a cable that you can wire straight up to your battery and that'll keep it live all the time whether your ignition's on or off. There's a switch on the side to switch the unit on or off. I've actually got it plugged into a thing called a Thunderbox, which prevents any power coming to the accessories until your ignition's been running and your bike's been running. So that's why it doesn't fire up straight away, but that's okay. There's ways around that. Now, also in the box is USB power, is USB. So there's a cable, if you want to run it off a USB-A, you can run it off that. So if your bike's got USB-A power under the seat or something, you can run this under the seat, wherever you like, and you can run it off that. It's got that, which is a handlebar clamp, okay? So it's pretty easy to mount to a conventional set of handlebars. Now, and then it has a Ram style ball joints, which my bike doesn't have conventional handlebars, this one, but I already have a Ram mount down here, so I've just mounted it straight to that. There's also a tiny little spanner which I've dropped on the floor, which does which tightens up the clamps, a spare fuse, and a little manual. And that's about it. That's all that's in the box. So as you can see, I've got my phone mounted here. Now, I've normally run my phone like that. With the Carpuride, I'm actually going to be able to remove the phone from the handlebars. Not going to need to do that anymore. Start the bike up. The power will start running through. My phone will fire up to say it's got power through its USB, and the Carpuride comes on down the bottom. Should automatically connect to CarPlay because that's the way I had it set up last time. That's the interface that you get with the basic one, and then it's come up into exactly how I had it last time. If I go back to here and I hit car home, that's the interface for the device itself. And there's a few things you can do there, and if you just want to listen to music off an SD card, things like that, you can do that. If you've got an iPhone, you're going to use CarPlay. If you're going to use Android, you're going to use A-Auto, and that's what I'm going to do now. So I'll go back into iPlay, and then this is your default screen. So phone, music, maps, messages, all the sort of standard things. And then across here, I've got a couple of extras. I've got Colomodo and the podcasting apps and things that I use, and there's Waze is up the end here. So you don't get access to everything. It's a very much a CarPlay thing, what you can use when you're on the road. So with messages, if I get a message, it can play that message to me rather than have me read it. So I can also use Siri. Now I'm actually listening to this through my Sena headset, and so if I boot up Siri, so the Siri symbols come on, and Siri, I want you to open up music and play some, let's say Adele. So it's just told me that Adele is now playing on Apple Music, and if I click on the music button, there we go. So if I hit pause on that, and then if I go to this one here, that gives me a grid look. There's the Adele again. She's sitting down there, and I've got the map on the other side, and the search function is what's defaulted into that top box, but that can be different things in different situations. So yeah, now I'll just get going, and you'll be able to see me move on the map. And you're going to have Waze there if you prefer Waze to, or Google Maps to the standard Apple Maps. You can do that easy enough. So that's very handy. And if you want to make a phone call or anything, you certainly can. You can use Siri to do that. You can you can pull over and select your phone numbers. It can access all your phone numbers from your phone, but of course it's just a conduit to your phone. It doesn't store anything really on the device itself, but you can store some stuff on that micro SD card. So yeah, look, I'm really impressed with this device. It doesn't need to have like a shock mount, anti-vibration mount like your phone does. It's been nice and solid in the relatively short time that I've had it, and it's been relatively solid sitting there and not moving around. It's fairly lightweight. It's not built to a quality level of a Garmin or an iPhone, but it doesn't cost that much either, and it's a much bigger screen than either of them. So from that point of view, it's a very, very interesting device. Now, if you need something that gives you full GPS, that's not the device for you. But if you just want to use what's on your phone, and you're happy to use a phone mapping style for navigation, it's a really, really good thing. And it can really supplement what your bike tells you about what's going on, as well as providing that media and that communication. So I'm actually shockingly impressed by it, and I've found very, very few downsides to it. The one I mentioned earlier was that I can't work out how to lock it onto a motorcycle, so you know, like to prevent theft. But realistically, that's I don't think that's a real likely thing to be happening. So no, very, very happy with it so far, and recommend you check them out at the web address I'll stick up on the screen here.